about it. Think about it. How many times in your life you say to yourself, I'm not good at this. I suck with this. And you have this feeling in your gut that you would like to be better. You would like to know more. You would like to feel empowered and have the knowledge about this thing, but you don't. And then what do you do when you feel like this? Do you give up or you keep going? Welcome to a new episode of the Eckert podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing how to embrace the suck factor, how to really target the fact that sometimes we feel like we're not good at something. We don't feel high confident about something. And this is what the episode is all about, guys. So let's dive in. For those of you who are here for the first time, thank you guys for showing up. I am Eva Eckert. I'm host of this show. I am a Polish immigrant with a strong accent, kick-ass husband, 2 beautiful kids. I inspire women around the world to take bold actions towards their passions, dreams, and desires so their life becomes more meaningful and fulfilled. I believe that the baddest superhero of your unique purpose is inside all of you, all of us, and we should share it with the world. This podcast will help you finally discover the power of self-belief, self-motivation, so you can stop making the excuses and create the life you truly desire and deserve by being the upgraded version of you. Thank you guys for showing up today. This is my gratitude to you. But as always, please write down daily, what are you grateful for? So more of this beautiful universe and these amazing opportunities will come to your life, because we got to feel alive. We got to feel like we vibrant. And as we going with this new year, I want to ask you a question. How are you feeling right now? Are you still feeling the vibrancies, this aliveness of the New Year resolution, new goals, new perspectives, new ideas? Or you already start slowing down and not feeling as alive as you were in the beginning of the year? Because this is a common pattern. We can't just rely on a calendar, that this calendar, just because something is in it, we're going to immediately change the state. We are walking energy, and we need to be responsible for our energy daily. So the disciplines, these crazy ideas that you have for every day, something that makes you happy should be on a calendar, just even a little bit, so you can change the state of your energy. And this is what we did actually just recently. We changed the state of our energy. We pushed our boundaries. We pushed our limitations. We pushed ourselves to our limits and crossed this completely uncomfortable zone, being at Operation Blacksite. If you've never heard about Operation Blacksite, you gotta check it out. You gotta check their handle on the Instagram. It's a growing page. It's an amazing event. But what is really Operation Blacksite all about? How to create a human weapon. It's a network and mastermind with incredible entrepreneurs, and also having fun along the way, because it's not just like a stiff mastermind. We're talking about a 2 days of being submerged and pushed into all kinds of different activities. And I'm going to be talking about this as I'm going to share with you some cool formulas that I've created over the course of my life, being really putting myself in situations like this. But why do I really want to talk about the I suck factor? Like, why do I want to even mention this in this episode? Well, because think about it. Think about it. How many times in your life you say to yourself, I'm not good at this. I suck with this. And you have this feeling in your gut that you would like to be better, you would like to know more, you would like to feel empowered and have the knowledge about this thing, but you don't. And then what do you do when you feel like this? Do you give up or you keep going? Do you give up or continue? Do you give up or you don't? Because human nature, think about human nature. How is it, what's happening when we are facing situations like this? Difficult situations, or maybe things that we are not good at. What happens? What happens to our human nature? Natural thing is to kind of avoid hard things, procrastinate on hard things. What else? Being resistant to hard things, maybe even find excuses of things that we can't do. And look, as we went to the Operation Black Site, we faced many obstacles. And I don't want to really talk about like my family, what they experienced, because I really totally cannot speak for them. But I'm going to share with you what it was for me. Because it wasn't the first time that I went to Operation Black Site. It's actually the first time, but the first time I was kind of like just observing, jumping here and there. The second time I put myself through more training, and now I did it even more. And because this place is all about being completely out of my comfort zone. I'm talking about being trained with weapons, but the best instructor, I think, in the world. We're talking about Tim Kennedy. If you don't know who this person is, check his podcast, check his YouTube, check his Instagram. We're talking about MMA fighter. He's gonna be fighting McGregor soon, right? In upcoming months. Well, if you're gonna be watching this episode, he might be even after the fight. Who knows? So, but we're talking about Mike Chandler. We're talking about Tony Blauer, who is the creator of the spear system, the self-defense. Those are the top leaders in the industry. We're talking about my husband, Steve Eckert, who actually runs the project. He is the head instructor in the MDK project. He runs Squire for the fathers and son, and he is the leading instructor for the workouts during Operation Black Site. So I know what to expect kind of from my husband, because we run the businesses together. We had our training centers together, and we created the systems of our workouts. However, I don't know 100%. So actually, he pushes you to the limits that normally in a workout you wouldn't see, because we crawl in the dirt. We walk up the hill with our hands only. I mean, there is a variety of different things that we do that you would need to just experience to do it. But what I'm trying to share with you today is that because we put on our calendar these challenges, we intentionally put these challenges and join them. So if you are a person that has nothing in their calendar, nothing challenging for yourself this year, it's time to find events that will challenge you mentally, emotionally, physically, and so you can experience the growth. Because guess what? When we grow in situations that are super uncomfortable for us, correct? We grow, we experience, because we go through the experience, we learn, and our brain learns these new connections, these new experiences, and we start feeling that we are capable of much more than we could ever imagine. So if you don't have anything on the calendar, guys, you need to put something that it's challenging. As a family of the freaks, we do the 24-hour challenges. We do these extreme hard workouts on Saturdays. We create hikes. We organize hikes. We meet with other people on hikes because we surround ourselves with high-performing individuals. But maybe you are not. Maybe you don't have a group of peers, a group of people that will push you and that will expand your horizons. So look, there is nothing wasted right now. If you're watching or listening this episode in the beginning of the year of 2024, you still have a chance to sign up for my event, the Freak Female Alliance event. It's called The Awakening. So we can push you through your limits. So we can challenge you at the event that is happening on April 26th and 27th. And the link is below. You can sign yourself up for this event, or you can join any other event. Just search. You can sign up for Spartan nowadays. You can search sites. You can go and sign up for a marathon. Whatever it is, do something that will make you feel uncomfortable. When you're actually going to be paying for this event, you're going to be thinking like, holy fuck, what have I just done? And you're going to have this nudging feeling in your stomach for weeks and months ahead that you're gonna be feeling like on the edge, because that's the best way to grow, to be uncomfortable. So guys, when we showed up there, and I mentioned to you already, I mean, I don't know about guns. I'm just learning. I'm in the process of learning. I'm becoming an asset to my husband to learn about how to operate in guns. He is familiar with this because he's a Marine. So I grew up with him. I grew up without guns. That's the thing. I come from a communist country that no one in my family had any connection with guns. We didn't have any police officer in our family. We did not have anyone who would operate the guns. So when we got married, and we've been together for many years right now, I've realized that, looking and being on the sidelines and just saying, I will learn it one day, it's not going to give me anything. I need to put myself in the trenches and physically touch it and do everything what it's required from me, being a part of these lessons, being a part of these challenges, being a part of the kill house when we learn about operating the guns. Because what's a better way other than being a part of action, right? When you're actually doing this, because how we learn when we're doing these things, not when we just watch it. The more you do, the more you experience, the more you put your hands on, the better you learn. And that was me. And guys, throughout these 2 days, almost every single thing that I was approaching, I felt like, wow, this is difficult. Wow, this is challenging. I don't even understand what are they talking about. I kind of have to pay so much attention, and this caused me to really being drained out of energy at the end of the day, because I had to focus so much, because you have to be in that zone of being so concentrating, working so hard to understand this new ways of information that's coming to you, this new abundance of information that's coming to you, right? And your brain starts working faster and start absorbing and start learning because you are in action. The most important part for me in the beginning of the day was the workout. And that was I would say that was the comfortable zone in the beginning, and then became uncomfortable. So what this tells you as well, that even if we think that we are good at something at some point, that there is a level, there is a next level, there is another coach, there is another person that can surprise you with a workout, with a training, right? And this is also showing you that there is always another level, that we cannot stop. But anytime I was approaching. Either was MMA, tumbling around the mats. We had a Muay Thai world champion. We had Mike. We had Tony. We had all these amazing influencers, these amazing instructors. And each time I was doing something, I'm like, oh, this is so new. Oh, I have no clue how to do it. I was exposed for 24 hours straight almost into such a different situations. And after being for a long time exposed to something like this, how do you feel? Well, you might feel like I was drained from energy, right? But then also it's like you start thinking with your mind, in your brain. It's like, okay, my confidence now is low because I am new to this, right? And this is when it all hit me. This is when I start thinking, okay, if I'm going to start thinking this way, if I'm going to start thinking more about the negative, how I feel, that I am, my self-esteem is going low, I am going, instead of making my energy better, instead of feeling better, I'm just gonna completely drain my energy because this is all new to me, right? So then it hit me. Then in order for you to not be afraid of the new thing that is happening in your life, this thing that you want to try, there is something difficult. Maybe you want to start a marathon. Maybe you want to join a marathon. Maybe you want to start a weight loss program. You want to lose weight. You got to embrace the suck factor. You got to embrace that you're not good at this. And this is the formula that I created. Number one, what you need to do, you need to actually understand and establish what you're not good at. What are you stuck with? So think about it. If you're trying to lose weight, maybe you don't know how to eat. Maybe you don't know what is the healthy food. Maybe what you need to do, you need to put yourself in a position of a learner and learn how to read labels. What are the most important things about weight loss? That you need to actually burn more calories that you consume, right? That you need to move, that you need to work out, that you need to do strength training, more strength training than doing cardio, that you need to also add cardio into your regimen, that you need to eat 5 meals a day to lose that weight. And this is all a part of the process. But wait a moment. You won't cross it further if you're gonna say to yourself, I don't know anything. I don't know how to start. I suck with this. I've tried so many programs, so many diets. I can't do this. You won't go further. So right from the beginning, establishing and thinking, okay, write it down. What are the steps that you need to do in order for you to learn? Okay, I'm not good at this. So I'm not good at guns. So what I do, I go into events. I put myself as a newbie. I am completely new. I don't know anything. I'm shutting up and I'm listening. I'm observing. I'm being an action taker. That's what it takes for you to embrace the suck. This is number one. And I want you to be super real about this, super honest. Because guys, if I wasn't honest about me operating the guns, MMA, we had lessons of how to escape out of handcuffs, how to escape being a hostage. We learned it all. If I didn't actually do hands-on exercise, I would not know how much it sucks to be restrained and to try to escape out of this. This was a freaking hell of an exercise. I was huffing and puffing, laying down on the floor, putting shoelaces over my shoes, and moving my feet back and forth, trying to escape or break the tapes. There is nothing better than actually being a part of action. So you got to do these things. You got to sign up to the gym if you want to lose weight. You got to be an action taker. And I strongly recommend you to make a list of things that will be required for you to do this. Number 2, ask yourself, how learning this one thing will change my life? Well, by me going to this event, me hopping over obstacle course, I'm going to use my knowledge, my conditioning to jump over the obstacles. Because if we learn in the gym, I was like, when we were doing these obstacles, I was like, I suck. I am not good at climbing these high walls. I always make excuse of my shoulder when I do the monkey bars. And I am like, I need to change this. And if I'm going to change this, that means that I will improve my life, because in the case of, I don't know, running through obstacle course, I'm gonna be chased by someone, I'm gonna run faster. That I will learn some MMA tactics if somebody freaking attack me. That I'm gonna learn how to disarm someone when a person holds the gun. That I will know how to escape a restaurant if there is something happening, or escaping, things happen in life, right? We got to be prepared. That I need to learn how to protect myself and how to protect my children and how to be an asset of my husband so we can communicate. Because the world is crazy nowadays and we need to take ownership. Ownership, guys, 100% ownership of taking charge of our lives. Not blaming someone else, not blaming the programs, taking an ownership and just doing what's required from you and doing it really well so you can improve your life. How, some people, there were people when we would do the morning workouts, people would show up, but some people wouldn't show up. And here comes the part. It's like we think it's gonna suck, I'm not good at, and you completely avoid the situation, right? And let me tell you, my thing was I avoided the obstacle course. I did some parts, but I didn't do it all. Because that's when I found myself, this is the suck factor for me, and this is what I need to do. So number 3, what do you need to do? You gotta lean towards this. And this is a perfect example. So after us realizing, you know what? This obstacle course, this obstacle course is still an ongoing thing for us. We need to really put our shoes and make ourselves show up there more often so we can train and become better. Why? Because when we have these trainings, we need to go through this. We can't avoid, we can't make excuses, we can't hide, you need to do this. And this was for me, this was the hardest part for me. So by leaning towards what is harder for you, what's really difficult, you're gonna come to a conclusion eventually that this wasn't as hard as you thought. That there are tools, there are steps, there are people that will help you along the journey, that you will learn actually tactics, how to do it. So leaning towards it. Number 4, ask questions. Meaning, if you don't know something, show up and ask a question. We have plenty of speakers asking the questions, how they've done it, how they did it, how, there are certain things that I completely couldn't understand, and I would ask a question. What is it? Which way? How am I positioning myself? Hold on, let me review this. Because each person's brain works differently, right? And sometimes instructors are so good that they think that you know. So if you go ahead with this scenario that you are in trouble. So you got to pause and say, wait a second, I don't know this yet. Not being afraid of ask questions, say, raise your hand and say, I don't know this yet. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Number 5, getting feedback. So this was a nice surprise when actually one of the instructors told me, you know what? I'm seeing you here for a third time. And for the first time right now, I'm seeing more confidence in you. I start seeing like your movements, your things are better. You start catching and grasping on it. And let me tell you, I myself would evaluate myself as a higher self already because I put myself in this position. I was there and doing this. I was doing the training and it feels incredible. And that's when your confidence starts raising because you are doing this stuff. So guys, avoidance, escape, resilience, being resistant to change is not going to help you with anything because that's not taking ownership. Ownership is being with action. Exactly what I told you. Number 6. I think this one is the hardest for all of us. Letting go of ego because the ego wants to win. The ego wants to be right. The ego wants to be seen. The ego wants to be like, I got this. The ego is always like unstoppable, like, yeah. And when you put in situations when you totally don't know, you gotta just shut up and quiet the ego. And because it's so hard for us, this is the part when it's the most difficult for us, because that's when your confidence is low and you got to just humble yourself. And what I've realized, what was huge learning for me, was that when I have these moments of, I suck, I start catching myself that voice in my head. And then I said, wait a second, if I approach this way, I'm not giving myself room to grow. I am not good at this right now, but I will learn. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to specifically create events that will help me to learn this specific thing, to learn this specific skill, to do this. So being graceful, this is a great, I would say, a word for women, being graceful, giving yourself that room and like telling yourself, hey, listen, it's all good. You're going to learn this. You're not there yet, but you're going to do it. So giving yourself that room, because if we being very judgmental towards ourselves, we lower our energy, we lower our self-esteem, we completely shut down the growing part in us, we shut down the ability to learn, we shut down that higher self, we shut down the upgraded version of ourselves. And this is the worst that we can do. And this is actually a way of learning with anything. So when you face the suck factor, don't be so harsh on yourself immediately, because this will bring you so down instead of bringing you up. Instead of saying, look, I'm not there yet. It's okay. I'm going to learn. It's all good. I'm going to enjoy the journey. I'm going to have fun with this. Remember this. Because otherwise you will never go towards anything. You're always going to feel so scared of trying new things. And on understanding and embracing the suck factor, this is all here for a reason. This is all good. This is all good. And when I tell you guys, when I'm seeing myself here, third event and the first event, it's a day and night. I'm no near to know anything, but I'm much farther when I was. And this is the same with you. So if you're trying to start a weight loss program, don't hesitate. Sign up. Sign up for the Infinite Freak Fitness Formula. We have a free link down there. Try it out. Sign up for my group coaching when we discuss mindset, muscles, motherhood, marriage, and mission. Be a part of growing communities. Be a part of people that will raise you up, but also be a part of groups that will not sugarcoat you, that will not tell you it's okay when it's not. Because people don't like to hear that. But sometimes you need to hear it. But you need to hear it in a way that will relate to you, right? So guys, I hope you got some good content out of today's show. Thank you so much for watching, listening to this episode. Remember to like, share, and give me some feedback for this episode. I always love to hear from you. And remember that superhero is within you. You just need to rediscover it. No excuses.